Hey, what's up, guys? So I'm getting really tired of looking at this super messy corner right behind me. This is where I keep all my gear, hard drives, flashes, and whatnot. Well, not all my gear, but a good portion of it. So I think I'm gonna do something about it and get it organized. Hey guys, so for the material we're going to be using for the gear shelf, I just got this 6-foot 1x8 at Home Depot, and this is called Select Pine. So as you can see, it's already squared out at the edges. It won't have the rounded edges like you'll see on construction lumber or framing lumber, and that's why I got this, so that I don't have to go through the whole milling process of making the edges look squared. And I got 4 of them because this is going to be a 6-foot shelf. I'm not that tall, so any higher than 6 feet might be reaching too much, and I don't want gear falling on me. So I hope 4 is enough. It kind of depends on how many shelves I want on the actual gear shelf. Alright, so let's get started. So the 4 6-foot boards, 2 of them I'm going to leave completely untouched, and that's going to make up the 2 sides of the shelf. And with the other 2, I'll bring them to the miter saw and make 4 27-inch boards that will serve as the actual shelves. So pretty much I'm going to be using pocket joinery for putting all these pieces together. But you'll actually see that I'm an idiot and actually forget to put pocket holes in a couple of the boards before nailing them together. I guess this is the drawback of drilling the pocket holes in each section rather than getting all your pieces together and making all your pocket holes all at once. But I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to configure the shelves, so I was just kind of doing things as I went along. So now I'm just putting the side pieces together with the top and bottom pieces. And I'm putting wood glue in between the 2 pieces that'll be joining together because I saw someone else do it and it probably makes it stronger. For truthsies, I'm just adding a couple of nails because I like the way the brad nailer sounds. It's also super annoying because every time you drill a pocket screw, it like shifts where the actual piece is gonna line up. So I had to like compensate for that expected shift and just pray that it would line up well. But really it didn't matter because I could have sanded over the edges to make it look like it lined up perfectly. And just for extra rigidity and strength, because that's what we're going for here, I'm cutting up little triangle pieces that'll go on the back side of each corner. And what I'm hoping here is that it just adds a little bit more strength to the overall rigidity of it. So after figuring out how I wanted to configure these shelves, I found out that I was actually 1 board short of how much materials I needed. So I had to go to Home Depot and grab another board. So after I came back and cut up all my remaining shelves, I decided that I was going to put a board in the middle of each shelf going vertically to create kind of 2 cubby holes in each shelf. So here I'm just making guidelines to where the direct center is to make sure that any of those middle pieces don't look wonky.
So remember how I said that a portion of the shelf was only being held by brad nails because I forgot to put pocket holes in them? I was thinking this probably isn't a good idea to compromise on strength on any portion of this, since I'll be putting some camera gear on it. So I just cut 2 little pieces on the miter saw that'll act as support and help hold up that shelf that's only being held up by brad nails. And since it's on the bottom, because I'll be putting them on the back side of the shelf, you won't even be able to see it when looking at the shelf directly. Also, that bottom middle piece is only being held up by brad nails. So on the bottom side of the shelf, I put a couple of screws in there to again just ensure that it's strong enough. So everything's screwed, nailed, and glued together. Everything is all good. Now we just gotta sand it and paint it. But before we do any of that, those nails that I put on from the brad nailer creates a little bit of an indent where the nail is. So I'm gonna use wood filler to fill that up so it doesn't look like there's any nails in there and it all looks like one smooth piece. Alright, so now we're ready to sand everything. And after sanding everything, I just make sure to wipe down everything with a rag.
Hey, what's up guys? Sweating like crazy because it's hot as hell. So I'm gonna be spray painting the gear shelf, and I'm using this flat black paint and primer from Behr. I've never tried it, but I hope it looks good. And if it doesn't, I'll probably paint over it with like olive green or something.
It's always a good idea to spray paint outside like I'm doing in this first portion, but it started to rain heavily and I kind of had to do it in the garage. Now I had the garage door opened, but I would still recommend, if you can, do your spray painting in a well ventilated area or outside.
So I ended up finishing painting the gear shelf, and it took about 4 cans of the Behr spray paint, but I actually really liked how it came out. I started organizing that corner and started to put some of the gear on it, like my gimbal, some of my camera bodies, and a few lenses. And then I also had this IKEA rolling cart that I put some of the stuff that I thought wouldn't look as good being displayed on a shelf, like hard drives and all my batteries and charging stuff and whatnot. Now I plan on putting some more plants there as well, just to liven it up a little bit. And it's really helping to keep me focused when I'm editing something or working on something, and I don't have to look at a pile of gear and random things on the floor. But yeah, I'd love to hear how you guys are organizing your camera gear, how you guys are placing it so that it's easily accessible but at the same time looks good. I think it came out pretty cool, and I hope you guys think so too. So if you liked it, maybe leave a like, maybe leave a subscribe. Leave a subscribe. If you liked it, leave a like, maybe subscribe. Anyways, see you later.